Okay, folks, things continue. We are where they serve food, the dining room, and these knights need supplements. So really, this welcome to Chrono Trigger Part 5. We are going to continue with the story a little bit more. Now, in this episode, we may not see a lot of fighting, but we're just going to kind of do the background stuff, kind of the sideline stuff, that sort of thing. So this should be... There's many more attempts like this, or not attempts, but there's many more times where this is going to happen. So if you want to get the most enjoyment, you want to make sure you talk to a lot of folks. This is actually the fun part of the RPGs, but you know, another important thing is just make sure you always equip your characters, because if you don't, you're going to have a harder time defeating the enemies unless you want a challenge. But Crono will pretty much stay with that wooden sword that you got at the beginning of the game if you don't go to a weapon shop, and it will take you longer in this boss that's getting ready to come up. Luckily, not every character is that weak, but you're going to want to upgrade to the rest of the party. That frog thing recently. Ugh. So, once again, I have to let you know that it really would have been effective for us to have further games in the Chrono series. I definitely would have liked it. And you just don't know what happened to Chrono. I mean, I have pretty much seen this game beginning to end, but I have not actually beaten this game myself. I don't know if I said that, but I had a Game Shark and I used that periodically, but then I just kind of, because I saw the ins and outs of it, it didn't make me want to beat the game. But I definitely know most of the index of this game. I guess that's the right word. But so we are going to want to see the queen. You can't tell, there's something conspicuous about this queen, and we're about to find out what. So what could this be? You probably already guessed it, but the thing is what's going to happen in this scenario? That's kind of the better question. You know, I was too young to actually pick up on this sort of instance, but it was pretty interesting. So, that's correct. It's Marl. Marl is the queen. But, so you think. So what? There are problems, and they're going to start happening, and this incorporates time travel into it. So something has happened to the queen, and we have to find out what, also while helping Marl. Now I'm going to let you know that Marl kind of, you know, it's one of those things, she's kind of an omen. I'm just going to say that. But then you know, I'm trying to think of how many other things happen in this game. It's gonna be fun to go back and actually remember and see what I think of these things. Some of my favorite segments in the game happen later on. I definitely like the Final Fantasy Chronicles, I think it's called. Yeah, with Final Fantasy IV with it. I like those anime sequences, but I'm not so sure if we're allowed to let those be seen. But that's just an extra bit. If you like Dragon Ball Z and you like anime sequences, this game has them. If you can't tell, these characters were designed by Dragon Ball, the creator of Dragon Ball. So it's just an extra bit. I probably said this. That's the thing, is I space my updates with this out, and I can't remember, but there is anime sequences to this game, and they're pretty smooth. I think you could probably watch them somewhere. Luca shows up. So, alright. So now, obviously, we're going to have a second party member, and the best thing to do is to go and get her equipped. That's definitely what we're going to need to be doing. And so, you know, if you notice, the first thing you're going to notice about Luca when you get into a fight is she's really not that strong. But the thing is she's got some pretty effective magic, so you're going to want her in the party. Later on, when we start getting more party members, you can only have 3 people in a party at a time, but when you start getting further party members, I'm not gonna do the most, you know, trying to think of logical. I'm not gonna go with the most logical choice. You know, if you think, well, oh, we have to use this character, well, I may not use that person. So, but I am gonna try to equally use them. Marl, Luca, the rest of them. And if you're paying attention to this, yeah, so basically what they're saying is if something happens to Queen Lean, Marl will die. So they are blood related. Marl's ancestor is Queen Lean. And really, we have to figure out, so who is at the fray here for Queen Lean? Most of these character designs are pretty interesting. It's one of the things I look forward to when I play this game, was seeing what the boss was going to look like, because most of these character designs were designed by the Dragon Ball creator. So, the creator of the manga, and Toriyama. And so that's pretty much why you may be noticing a bit more vividness to the pictures of these folks. It's why, you know, Luca, Chrono, Marl, all these people, they look so, you know, catchy. That's one of the main things, is it works rather effectively. So, more so than Final Fantasy III. I mean, this game is really bubbly. Subscribe for more fun.